Yo, yo, yo. We back with another episode of the No Pressure Pod. I'm your host today, Coach Miles, Booby Miles, whatever you want to call me. Got my brother with me, Teach Fiasco, Coach McCray, all that good stuff, man. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, man. Obviously we got a lot to talk about. Um, got a lot of feedback from the last episode, so we'll get into that.
All right.
We'll talk about a handful of things, man. So first and foremost, let's just start off with your day, man. How was your day? How did they go? Talk to us about how everything went today.
Day was smooth, man. What's today? Wednesday. So for those that don't know, it's daddy daycare season. So watching both of the boys. So it's part of the morning routine. Wake up, cook them breakfast, chill, read, all sorts of stuff like that. But once their grandmother came and picked them up, I went to the gym. Had an open gym. It was fun. I'm tired as hell right now. Probably as soon as we done with this, I'm going to lay down. But it was a good day, man. It was a good turnout at the gym. Basketball is my therapy, so no complaints, brother. How was your day?
Before I talk about my day, I seen on your story, y'all, you went 4-3 today.
5-4.
Usually you said 4. You said 4 and what?
5-4.
5-4. Okay.
Yeah.
So was that a good day? Is that a bad day? Like what's going on? 5-4. Like that's not you. You the king of the 2-5. Like what's going on?
Whoa. King of the 2-5 is crazy. My name ain't Justin Wilson, but
shout out Justin Wilson, man. Shout out Justin Wilson.
Petey. It wasn't a good day. Like, with the win, we had more wins than losses, yeah, but didn't do as much winning as I wanted to. Especially this summer. Really been trying to have the most wins anytime I'm going to get, especially Drew. Like we ain't been on the same team once, and I just try to have more wins than him. But yeah, man, it was 5-4 today. Drew and my boy Alex, they kind of was knocking down some tough shots. Then my boy Bones, Aaron Bolton came in, and he came in after the 2 games of the loss, and he came in and we was able to anchor some victories, bro. But it was good back and forth. It was a good bump. Justin pulled up. He didn't play because his back was hurting, but he brought his little brother, so it was cool to have him in the gym. It was fun, bro. I thoroughly enjoyed it, bro. But yeah, man, 5-4. I'm gassed, and we playing full court. You know how big our court is, and we played to 12, bro. So 9 games to 12. I'm dead.
Nah, facts. Before I get into my day, I just want to salute you and Justin Wilson. I feel like you guys have built a strong camaraderie, especially within the 2-5 too. Obviously, Justin Wilson being from that area, he rep it to the death of him, and for him to be a strong proponent in the 2-5, I think that's really cool. He pull up to your gym, he pull up to all the little towns, all the cities in the 2-5. He shows a lot of love, man. So shout out our dog Justin Wilson for all he does for his area code, for sure. So as far as my day, man, I had a good day. Went to campus. We're actually in the middle of our kids camp, so a lot of kids just running around the gym, playing games, doing skill work, and just having a good time, man. Pretty much doing a lot of things through the game of basketball. And Coach Good, he hosts a really good camp. And he just does a really good job with it. So I'm just happy to be a part of it, and learning from him and learning from our staff, and just being a mentor for all the kids. I think we got like 40 kids at the camp. So a lot of them are, older, getting better, working on the game, and it's just cool to be a part of that. So that was pretty much my day in a nutshell. So yeah, I do want to talk about Game 7.
All right.
Obviously, man. First and foremost, Tyrese, man. That's really like something that really hurt any basketball fan that was watching the game. He got off to a really, really good start. He went 3 for 4 from three. He had 9 points in the first 7 minutes. He was going crazy, man. He was popping his shit a little bit. It looked like he was destined to have a really, really, really strong game. And who knows how it could have went. He messed up his calf earlier in the series, and a lot of times that your calf can lead to Achilles injuries, and that's pretty much what happened, man. He got the ball, tried to push off his right leg, and his Achilles popped, man. So prayers up to him. Like I said, man, he was playing really well, and who knows what could have happened. But I know a lot of the game was back and forth until, the fourth quarter. OKC pretty much pulled away, but it just kind of leads me to believe that we got stripped of a really good game, or we got stripped of a really, really strong moment in NBA history if he were able to play, because he was on a roll. And if he would have won that game, I think he could have solidified a really strong postseason run. So, just talk to us about your thoughts about the game, especially with you being an OKC fan. What was your perspective on it?
Yeah, like you said, man, prayers and speedy recovery to Tyrese Haliburton. Hate to see any player go down, but especially one that has a huge impact on his team. I think about what Obi Toppin said, where he said, it sucked the soul out of the team, which, one of your brothers go down, man, it's kind of hard to kind of like bypass what just happened. So, like I said, in the moment, man, it was a good game, but he was in a good first quarter. He was killing, dominating, knocking down shots. Like you said, just playing with a confidence, and rightfully so. They're coming off a Game 6 victory in which they dominated us. And he played well in that game, overcame his injury. So he probably felt like, everything was fine, and played like he wasn't going to get hurt, which is what you should do. So that was just unfortunate to see happen. So, speedy recovery for sure. But overall, man, the game was amazing. The first half was close. The Pacers did a good job of maintaining their composure, their mental composure, and competing. And I think they actually led at half by 1, if I'm not mistaken. But then that third quarter, man, I think our defense shined. Like I don't think anyone really like stood out offensively. Our defense shined in the third quarter, and I think that's been our bread and butter. We were able to get some shots out in transition, a lot of dunks, making it difficult on them, forcing them to turn the ball over. And I think that's what we used to pull away in the third quarter, and then maintain that lead in the fourth quarter. And then I think Shea, what I critiqued him on earlier, when we talked earlier in the pod, on an earlier episode rather, is that game when he had 0 assists, and I'm like, that's really hard to do for a point guard to have 0 assists, in my opinion. He had 29 and 11, I believe, 29 and 12, something along those lines. So he did a good job of getting his teammates involved early, and I think that correlated to their confidence. And yeah, we poured it out, man. It was amazing to see. But bro, I really couldn't find myself thinking to myself like, damn, I wish this was KD and Westbrook, bro. Like, just because, again, man, I became a fan, when they moved to OKC, drafted Kevin Durant was in Seattle. So following them from that point, with KD being my favorite player, man, it would have been great to see KD and Russell Westbrook, complete that task of winning the championship. But like I said, I'm very happy. I'm happy for Shea. I'm happy for the guys. I think the Thunder are transcending into what the NBA is going to start turning into, is like, hey, you don't necessarily need a super team. You just need guys you need a star. You need guys to buy in, and you need the guys to defend, and you need rim protection. You need, two good bigs, shooters, multiple wing defenders. Because we got, like I said, Casey Wallace, who played phenomenally defensively, Lou Dort, Caruso. Like those are 3 good, and shit. Sometimes Jalen Williams, 4 good wing defenders to go along with a couple of bigs to go along with your Batman. And, so I think OKC is returning in the right direction. I've seen the way too early predictions for the finals next year. They got us as the favorite to repeat. I don't really like making those type claims without the draft being completed, without free agency going on. But overall, bro, I'm very happy, man. I'm happy. A lot of bros tell me congratulations. Like I won, like I was on the championship team, bro. So it was real cool, bro. Y'all know I stayed down.
Nah, facts. Let me ask you this. As a OKC fan, do you feel like it's an asterisk with this championship, for the simple fact that Tyrese did get hurt, popped his Achilles first quarter. Like, when you 20 years from now, when you tell this story to Cash and Chosen, are you going to mention that, Tyrese was on a run, man? He was on a tear. He ended up popping his Achilles. Is that something that you're going to mention, or is just going to be, Shea got his first one? We did our thing.
Honestly,
went to Game 7 with.
Honestly, bro, I don't think I will like mention it because like at the end of the day, like of course anything can happen, and it was unfortunate that it happened to him. But it was, early in the game. He started off hot, but things can. We don't know what I was telling some guys at the gym today was like, we'll never know. Like we just got to go off what we saw. But as a fan, I think back to the to the 2019 finals with when Kevin Durant got hurt, and the Raptors. The Warriors were up, late in the second quarter. KD, I think, had like 21 points. He was playing lights out. He popped his, and obviously the Raptors they were up 3-2 in the series, but they ended up winning that game to win 4-2. But, I don't even bring up Kevin Durant with that. Like, if Kevin Durant never got hurt, the Raptors did what they were supposed to do. They did still pull out 3 games with a healthy Kevin Durant. So, I don't think I'll bring it up, but of course, if it's like talked about in dialogue, like Dad tell me about that series, then of course, Tyrese had a generational playoff run, and unfortunately, that's just, you always say it, bro. You hate injuries, bro. You hate injuries. You just wish everybody could be healthy, and I think that's the case for everybody. Because I think as a competitor, like even when I'm coaching, I want teams at their best. I want to beat teams when they got everybody. I don't want any excuses to be had. So I do understand where that could come from, but overall, bro, like, it is what it is. I've coached and I've had guys get hurt, and we've had to overcome that. Like this past season, my starting guard, Cam Rudd, when he got hurt in the game against North Edgecombe, we had to adjust, and we were able to overcome that adversity. So it's just part of the game, man. It's unfortunate, but it's part of the game.
Facts. I think a couple finals that I like to give context on. When the Bucks beat the Suns in the finals, I always like to give the context of when the Bucks played the Nets. I think it was the East Conference Finals, and Kevin Durant was going crazy. And
no, that was first round. That was first round.
That was the first round.
Yeah, that was first round. The Bucks went 7 games in the first round against the Nets. You talking about his foot on the line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was first round.
I didn't. Oh dang! I forgot it was the first round. But like, I feel like you got to throw that context in there of like, man, the Nets were going to win the finals. They were playing extremely well. They had Kevin Durant, they had Kyrie, they had James Harden. Like they were playing at an all-time high. Then James Harden, I think he had a hamstring. Kyrie, he turned his ankle really, really bad. And that just kind of depleted the Nets. But if you rewind that series and everybody was healthy, the Nets would have probably swept the Bucks, in my opinion. And the Bucks ended up getting by the Nets, and they ended up winning the finals. Giannis kind of cemented his claim as one of the best players in the NBA. So that's one in particular that I like to add a little bit of context to. I'm not the type of guy where I like to nitpick. LeBron did this. The bubble ring don't count, or this ring don't count. Like I don't really like to do that, but like for that series in particular, I like to throw that context in there. Like the Nets should have really won that series, man. Like KD, Kyrie,
close, bro.
James Harden. Yeah. They were fake that year, bro. They were fake, and I hate how people think Kevin Durant is like starting to become this journeyman, and he bouncing around from team to team. Like he should have definitely had a ring with the Nets.
Bro, let me tell you. Speaking of Kevin Durant, in one of the group chats, one of the guys was like, yeah, trading all that. So for those that don't know, Kevin Durant just got traded to the Houston Rockets for Delon Brooks, Jalen Green, and a multitude of picks, and they just got Kevin Durant in return. And what he said was trading all that for a locker room vet is insane. I immediately responded like, "What do you mean locker room vet?" And then he was like, Kobe. You're a Kobe fan. He was like, Kobe went out with the Achilles too, bro. I said, there's been 6 seasons since Kevin Durant tore his Achilles. He's averaged 25 points per game minimum and shot over 50%, and I believe 5 out of the 6. He's coming off the most games he's played this past year in Phoenix, in which he averaged about 27, shot 50% from the field, and literally was trying to do his best. He did his part. I'm so happy he got out of Phoenix and is in a situation in Houston. My only critique, remember, I was like, I don't feel like Houston should be trading key pieces. I don't think they did. They got rid of Jalen Green. They got rid of Delon Brooks. Kevin Durant is a perfect fit for this Rockets team. And what I wanted more than anything, I wanted KD to get traded to a contender because the NBA playoffs need Kevin Durant. And by no means is he a locker room vet. This is still Kevin, easy money sniper Durant. Like, let's not get it twisted. He is not a locker room. He is a bucket getter and is going to continue to get buckets for as long as a locker room vet was so disrespectful. But what you think about that?
Yeah, that's disrespectful, man. And see, I don't like that, bro. I do not like how people are starting to forget how good this man is, bro. Easy money, bro. He a legend. He a legend, bro. He a legend. Like, I feel like KD is arguably one of the best players to ever pick up. Like, I know this is crazy. Like, and I told my homeboy this. I told him, I think I was talking to Dad, as a matter of fact. I told him, like, realistically, KD should be mentioned as one of the best players to ever pick with basketball. He's not in that conversation.
Hell yeah.
He's not in that conversation for whatever reason. But realistically speaking, like, he was going toe to toe with Bron as far as who was the best player in this era. I will never forget that. I will never forget, like, Stephen A used to get on ESPN and say Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James. Mm-hmm. And I think LeBron is the best. I think LeBron is the best to ever pick up basketball.
So do I.
I mean, it was a point in time where KD was, I mean, not even. I mean, you can argue, apples, oranges, whatever the case may be, but he was right there with Bron. He was right there with Bron, if not better than him, for sure. I mean, 7-footer, can shoot from all 3 levels, can score from all 3 levels, has a great handle, can guard long, like,
elevated his defense size. When he played with the Warriors.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like, I just hate how people are starting to forget, bro. They definitely starting to forget how good KD
locker
is.
Room vet, Miles. Locker room vet. I was like, bro, what?
That's OD, bro.
Like Udonis Haslem.
That's OD.
Like, Udonis Haslem is a locker room vet. James Johnson for the Pacers is a locker room vet. This is Kevin Durant. How quickly people forget.
Yeah, bro. But, he got the opportunity to remind everybody this upcoming season. He seems like he's in a good space with the trade. Like, he looks like he's energized. I saw a video where when the trade got announced, he was smiling from ear to ear. Like you said, I think he's very, very happy to get out of Phoenix, man. I think Phoenix was a toxic situation, and he's happy to be out of there and be back in the playoff or be back in a winning situation. I do want to spin back to something that you said, right? So when you were talking, you said the Rockets don't need to give up any key pieces. And then you went on to mention Jalen Green. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Jalen Green. You know what? Like, obviously young up and coming, I ain't gonna say star, but young up and coming player. He does have a high ceiling. Mm-hmm. I do feel like he had a lot more to give in Houston, and he did not give it for whatever reason. But I mean, what do you feel about Jalen Green? Do you feel like he's going to continue to kind of even out or plateau, or do you feel like he's going to elevate his game to another level?
So no, yeah, I mean, Jalen Green is young. Like, when I said, like, by no means do I think Jalen Green was just expendable. Like, I don't think he's bad. I think he's a good player. When I think of a Jalen Green, I think he has the potential of it, like a Jordan Poole. He had his value with the Warriors, and then he was expendable, so they just moved him. When I say he can be replaced. I don't think that doesn't take away from his skill set at all. But when you can replace Devon Brooks and Jalen Green for arguably one of the best scorers in NBA history, a champion. So now you got two guys with championship pedigree and Fred VanVleet and Kevin Durant. I think you do that. I think you do that because they're young enough to where their picks that they gave away don't really quote unquote matter. They keep a young center in Sengun who's very talented. Amen Thompson going to be a perennial defender for years to come, and is a proven slasher. Fred VanVleet to quarterback the team, and like I said, has that championship pedigree. And I spoke on that on the previous part about how I feel like how important that is. And then you bring in the 7-foot killer and Kevin Durant. It's a match made in heaven. So again, yeah, this is no knock to Jalen Green. Jalen Green, to answer your question, I think he's going to continue. Jalen Green can be a 20-point per game scorer, 25-point per game scorer. I just think with the Rockets, man, he got overshadowed. Honestly, I mean, Fred VanVleet needs his touches. The ball's in his hands, and he's able to score. Like I said, our man just took the league by storm. Shout out to Chuck. He's been on him heavy. Sengun, they can play through him in the post. He's a baby Jokic. I mean, I just think he got lost, and Jalen Green kind of I think he has to simplify his game a little bit. And if he does that, I think he'll be absolutely fine and find ways to impact the game other than when he's other than scoring. He has to find another way to impact the game.
Nah, I definitely agree. I like the word expendable because, I mean, that's kind of what he is. Like, that's kind of his value right now. I do feel like he still has a lot of potential, and he has a lot of game, and he has a lot of upside for sure. But he does need to tap in. He does need to tap into another level. Like I said earlier, I don't feel like he reached his peak, or I think he had a lot more to give in Houston that for some reason he just couldn't give. I mean, a change of scenery, a new environment might tap into that killer. But I think he's a really good player. I think he's really talented. Has great athleticism, has great scoring ability. I'm hoping he does, reach his peak and tap into the potential that he does have, because he's talented. He's talented for sure. So we'll see how that goes, man. But I'm definitely excited about the Rockets, man. Excited about what they did. I do feel like they need another piece, though. I think they need to add a little bit more in order to be in the same conversation as OKC.
Elaborate, like what you think?
OKC, they're I think they need a 2-guard, bro. I think they need a 2-guard. I think we can debate about this, but you like Fred VanVleet. You've always liked Fred VanVleet. I like his game, but I think you can get something for him too. I think he's expendable too, for the simple fact that I feel like that team. They have a young core. And I mean, obviously you need your vet, but I mean, now that you got KD, I mean, KD is the vet. KD is that guy that the younger guys are going to be listening to. They're going to be following. So with that being said, I think Fred VanVleet, he does have value. And if you were to move on from him, you can get a piece right there. Maybe you can package him together. And they got the kid that they drafted last year too, Reed Shepherd. That's another really good guard they have. Yeah, they got him coming off the bench. Maybe it can be time for him to take that next step. I've never really been high on Reed Shepherd, but obviously they believe in him. I think they spent the top 3 pick on him. So, I mean, let him spread his wings a little bit. I think he's a guy who can shoot the ball. I think he's a guy who can that can defend and get guys to play the right way. So, we'll see how it goes. But I do feel like they can make another move to get in a better situation. But I think they're still not in that same class as OKC. And if they do make another move, I think they can creep closer to being in that class. But they're putting themselves in a good situation. It's still early, obviously. It's still all summer. It's still a lot more moves to make. So, we'll see how it goes. They're putting themselves in a good spot for sure.
Let me tell you what Stephen A. Smith. If you were watching the draft, Stephen A. Smith, he was like I said, the whole finals odds or whatever. He said with the Mavericks getting Cooper Flagg, if everyone is healthy, so Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, along with the Cooper Flagg. He said they are the biggest threat to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Off rip.
I don't think so. and I mean, I'm a Kyrie fan, bro. Like Kyrie, my dog. Kyrie, my favorite player. I don't think that they're the biggest threat. You know, I think they might put themselves in contention to, you know, make a run in the playoffs. But I mean, a threat is like we can beat OKC. Like that's something that we can really do. I don't think that they're in that situation right now. Obviously, like, Kyrie got to get healthy.
Mm-hmm. Keep going, Kyrie.
Obviously, Kyrie got to get healthy, and yeah, and you know, Klay Thompson, he has to show that he can still play that championship level that he once was at. And then, I mean, Cooper Flagg has to prove itself, bro. Like, yeah, this is still a rookie. Like, this is still a rookie, bro. Like, you saying that this guy can come in and be a piece to a championship team? I mean, he very well could be, but I mean, let him prove himself first. Let him show that he can play at this level. You know, he's still a teenager, bro, like 18, 19, whatever. Literally. You know, so yeah, man, I think that's a premature statement. It's a bold statement. You know, I'm cool with the bold statements and the bold takes, the hot takes, but I don't find any validity behind that at all. What you think?
I mean, bro, and I mean, you hit the nail on the head, bro. Like, it's just premature. Like, again, I don't see how we can make these predictions, and the draft is literally going on right now. Then NBA free agency is crazy all the time. Trades going to happen, so it's like how can we even saying the Thunder are the early? I mean, I know they're using the word early favorites, but I mean, like, there's just so much that has to unfold. Like, finals just ended Sunday. Like, I mean, I'm not the type to really make predictions, early predictions and whatnot. I know they do it for clickbait and media and discussions, but realistically, like you said, like Cooper ain't even touched the NBA court yet. Kyrie still got to come back healthy. Like, the Mavericks are going to be fighting. They're going to be fighting to maintain relevancy. Like, I know they don't want to be in the play-in. So in the early part of the season, they're going to be fighting to try to stay out of that play-in situation. You know, God willing, AD comes back healthy and stays healthy. Like you said, Kyrie's recovering from a torn ACL. You know, they expected him in the latter part of the season. So it's just so many things that, and the West is tough. Like, I mean, it's just so many things that have to unfold and so many things that we don't even know, the unknown to make a prediction like that. I was just like, Stephen A, bro, you got to chill, dog. Like, you got to chill, bro. Just relax.
Tell you, man, Stephen A, man, sometimes he would just be saying stuff just for the content, just for the clicks, bro. Like, come on, man. Let's chill out, bro. Let's chill out, man.
I mean, even during the finals, when OKC would win, he would be like, "Oh, this is the championship team. I got them winning in 4." When the Pacers win, yeah, man, the Pacers. It's like, bro, God dang, every time it's like that recency bias. I don't know, man. Like, you make a decision, you stick firm on it. My original prediction was us in 5. You know, I didn't change them. I'm like, oh, we about to lose this one. Oh, we about to lose this one. My prediction was still Oklahoma City to win it. Stuck by it, and boom, there you go. But what was you about to say, Coach?
I was about to say, I do feel like the Mavericks are going to be exciting to watch, though. You know, obviously, me being a Duke fan, I watched Cooper Flagg the whole year, man. He plays really hard. He plays the game the right way. I do feel like he has the ability to score the ball. And, I mean, shit, he very well could score the ball at all 3 levels if he does reach the potential that he does have. But I really like the way he plays. Like, he plays the game the right way. He has the right approach to the game. I think he's a defense first guy. And I mean, that generated a lot of wins at Duke. You know, I'm still sick that we didn't win the national championship, but I mean, just having the pleasure of watching him throughout the course of the season, man, he was a guy who really competed at a high level, played the game the right way, you know, put his teammates first. I mean, I see why he the number 1 pick, man. I mean, he's very talented, and like, I think he's a winner. You know, he brings winning qualities to the table.
You are one of the biggest Duke fans I know. Do you agree with what Jay Billis said, that he's the most talented freshman in Duke history?
Oh, bro.
I know that's tough. Y'all Zion, Tatum, which I know you ain't big on Tatum. Some may throw Kyrie in that. You know, he only played 11 games. Grant Hill, Y'all done had some talented freshmen. So with that being said, do you feel like Cooper Flagg is the most talented, not player, but most talented freshman that Duke has ever had? He led y'all in every statistical category.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. Just because of his style of play, like I said, like he plays the game the right way. He plays really hard. Like he puts winning at the forefront, which is something that I like. But you can kind of nitpick, or you can play with the words, or play with however you want to phrase the question. I feel like Zion had the most dominant freshman year that I've ever
Oh
seen
my God.
from any freshman.
Oh my God.
Like he was on a whole nother level. He was on a whole another level as far as his dominance. Like I'm talking about like dunked everything. I'm not talking about like layups. I'm talking about he got to wherever he wanted to get to. He could knock down threes. He could block shots. He could rebound. Like he brought a different level of excitement to Duke basketball. So, I mean, Jay Billis can say that Cooper Flagg is the most talented, blah, blah, blah. But Zion had the most dominant freshman year I've ever seen in my life. So, however you want to
you mean for
phrase it.
Duke? For Duke or in
For
general?
For Duke. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, for Duke.
All right, okay.
Yeah. We speaking as a Duke fan. Speaking as a Duke fan. But,
all right. All right.
but yeah, I mean, Cooper Flagg, man, he's really good. I don't want to sound like I'm taking anything from him because he had a really good season, and yeah, like he cold for sure. So shout out to Zion, shout out Cooper. Y'all did y'all thing at Duke for sure. So
yeah, bro, and I don't like Duke players, but like how big I was on Zion coming out of high school. I think it's between Duke and Carolina and another school, and I was praying for him. You remember, bro? You was on the phone with me because you didn't know where he was going to commit to, and I said, "Man, this dude committed to Duke," and I hung up on you, bro. You said, "For real?" And you started busting out laughing, bro. But like, bro, like I was still a fan of his, bro. Like, I mean, I'm still a fan of Zion, bro. So like you said, bro, just pure dominance, blocking shots in the stands, jumping out the gym, getting to his left by any means necessary. Like the dude was a freak of nature, bro. So like, I thought they was, and I think about his matchup with Taco Fall in the tournament, man. Like didn't back down, like missing it, following his shot, going back up, just using his brute size and ability against a 7'6". But yeah, man, like you said, shout out Zion, man. Hopefully, bro, come to the city, man. Come home, start over, get out of New Orleans. You know what I'm saying, bro? Just come to Charlotte, bro. Help revive the city, man. Please. Mellow Ball needs you.
Yeah, facts, bro. You got two fans right here. So if you're gonna come back to the city, man, give us some tickets, man. We'll be front and center for sure. Sure.
Yeah, if you come to the city, I'm gonna cop the Zion jersey.
Facts. Speaking of, bro, draft going on right now. Obviously Cooper went first, Dylan Harper went second, VJ went third. Charlotte, fourth overall pick. They ended up going Con Nipple. What's your thoughts about it?
Bro, what I'm about to say is no offense to Con. Like it ain't Con, bro, but it's like we lost the draft when we didn't get the number one pick. We lost the draft, bro. Like Charlotte needs so much, bro, that like I do know they wanted Dalton Connect. They were about to trade what was Mark Williams, and somehow the trade got messed up and it didn't work out. I thought Dalton Connect would have been a great fit for the Hornets because I just feel like we needed another shooter, another guy that can stretch the floor out. We don't really have another shooter, catch and shoot guy coming off a screen, coming off pin downs. LaMelo Ball is capable of knocking the three down, but he's more ball dominant. So I get why they go with a Con. Con plays both sides of the ball. And I think that's a testament to John Sire and Duke and the style of basketball that y'all play. Shot the three-pointer at a high clip. So I'm not mad at Con Nipple. I just think it's gonna fall. It don't move the needle for the Hornets. Like the Hornets just need to do so much, man. Like I don't know what we're gonna get out of Melo. Is he gonna stay healthy? Brandon Miller. I'm still kind of like it's a roller coaster. I think he needs to improve as a defender. I couldn't even tell you who the big is, right? Oh, like I said, Mark Williams is still there. He's the big, but it's just like we haven't made the playoffs in so long. we've missed out on the draft. I think Jeezy has sent that picture of like the picks we've made since like 2013 or something. They were just all bad picks. So it's just like, bro, I'm just in the mindset of like, what is it going to take for us to get back relevant, to get back to winning? So if that's Khan leading us in the right direction, cool. But I don't think like if the needle was here and moved it there, like I mean, it's slight move, nothing crazy, man. How you feel about it?
Nah, I agree with what you said. This draft revolved around Cooper Flagg, and whoever got the number one pick was going to win the draft. And Charlotte did not get the number one pick. I think if we would have got the number one pick, I think this would have been a no-brainer generational home run. Like we did it. Like we're jumping for joy right now. The city's going crazy. Like we're throwing parade for drafting Cooper. So yeah, when we didn't get the number one pick, yeah, that hurt us for sure. As far as Khan, man, I think he's a good player. He was actually really, really good at Duke as well. So it's no shade towards Khan. But I mean, drafting Khan Knibble top 5 is just oof. He's a good player. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. Like he a good player, but it's tough, bro. It's tough. I think he's going to do good. I think he can bring a lot of things to the table, especially shooting, bro, because he can shoot the blood out of the ball for sure. But I mean, I thought the same thing about Reed Sheppard, bro. Like last year, Reed Sheppard going top 3. Reed is a good player, but for him to go top 3 in the entire draft.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know they were raving about his workouts, but I still like, especially Reed. Like what Khan has over Reed, Khan can guard a little bit. He played with a little chip on the shoulder. Reed was just like this guy that can score, but again, if you ain't scoring, and I ain't saying you a high level scorer, so like what are you going? Are you going to just be a shooter? But like being top five, or what top 3? Yeah, that was a little bit insane for Reed Sheppard. Like I said with Khan, kind of the same thing. I don't think I'm using my 4th pick to draft him. Again, great player, top 10 type talent. But if I'm the Charlotte Hornets, who needs our franchise needs to be headed in the right direction, I don't think I'm drafting Khan. One person I would have drafted, which I seen he just got drafted. He got drafted by the Hawks, but the trade rights goes to the Pelicans with Derek Queen. Like, I know we got Mark Williams.
I knew you was about to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I really think the league is transcending to guys with height, bigs, who are skilled and have an ability to create for others. No one thought Jokic was going to be Jokic when he got drafted in the 2nd round. No one thought that. And when I watch Derek Queen play, I feel like he has an ability to be. I'm not going to say as good as Jokic, but I just see Jokic in his game. Like he can create his own shot, he can pass, great hands, great footwork, great rebounder. People used to criticize his motor got criticized in college. Sometimes, and I mean, this is not giving him an excuse. I just felt like, when especially as a center, like it's not many center. He was an anomaly when it comes to the center position. So I feel like if we, from the Hornet standpoint, is Mark Williams good? But when I think about Mark Williams, I think about Isaiah Hartenstein, a rim protector who catch lobs. But then you add Derek Queen, who can score. He could defend. He not no slouch. He's still what's he 6'11", 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, somewhere around those lines. Can still defend, create his own shot, can pass. I just think like there's nothing. I think the league is going to start transcending back to we want more length and we want more skilled bigs. And I think Derek Queen is that. I think that's where the Hornets should have went in that direction, because I don't think you can go wrong with drafting a skilled big. Just like you can't go wrong with drafting a very skilled point guard, a guy that's going to have the ball in his hands, or a big, unless you got a generational talent like Cooper Flagg. But we're going to see, man. I'm just praying for the city, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Before we get off the draft, it was a lot of, I guess, just a lot of backlash towards Ace Bailey for, not taking any workouts, not taking any meetings with any teams at all whatsoever. Originally, he was a projected top 3 pick, I think he was right there
Yeah.
with Ace Bailey, or maybe behind Ace Bailey, as far as like that's second overall or third overall, whatever the case may be. He ended up sliding a little bit, which was not expected going into the draft. But
Mm-hmm.
once he started, or once he declined all his meetings, declined all his workouts, that's when he kind of slid a little bit. Just kind of talk to me about your thoughts about him doing that, and is that going to become a trend moving forward?
So I'll address the trend part. Yes. I do think this is going to start becoming a trend because of NIL. Like these college kids got money. They coming out of college with a bag, especially if you projected top 5 pick. You got bread. So if I can control my narrative by saying I don't want to work out for this team or I don't want to go there, I'm skilled. I'm going to get drafted. I truly feel like this is basketball. This ain't the NFL where Shador dropped as far as he did. Allegedly, how he was said he was acting in meetings and whatnot. Basketball is a little bit more minuscule in a sense. So with that being said, like, yes, I do feel like because of NIL and because college players are getting paid, if you are a lottery pick, you're going to be more vocal about where you don't want to go. And then, shit. Is it an honor to get drafted? Yes. Did we still feel like he was going to get drafted? Yes. But he said, I don't want to go to Utah. His camp, I don't want to get drafted by Charlotte. I don't want to get drafted by Utah. I get it. It don't pan out in these two places. So I get where he's coming from. Now, on the flip side, if this is my son, Cassius or Chosen, and and my opinion matters, which I know it will. We're gonna work out. This is an opportunity that we're gonna be grateful for. Like we're talking about the NBA, and I think there are ways to go about it. I still think you can have these workouts with these teams and be like, man, if y'all take me, cool. But my preference is not to come here. When it's all said and done, I'm not going to resign. Like if a team drafts you and you choose to sign that contract, you make a commitment. Now, of course, you don't have to sign the contract. He can sit out, whatever the case may be. But I just don't think you can control your. I don't think you have a say so. So let me figure out how I want to word this. Like, I don't think it's a good look to be like, I'm not working out for y'all. Like everybody works out. But even in the NFL, people are skipping out on the combines. But I think that's where too, like something I've always praised you about. You got a good eye for talent. I think I have a good eye for talent. I think that's where you got to trust your scouts. Like, I don't think a workout can be bad. He could have a bad workout. Does that change your opinion on him? Like, but what does the film say? What does your eye say? What I think about all the time, everybody was so big, and you can attest to this. Everybody was so big on Lonzo Ball, coming out of that draft class. But the best player I said in that draft, in my opinion, best guard by far, in my opinion, I said was De'Aaron Fox. Based on what I saw, based on the UCLA Kentucky matchup, and they played each other, and De'Aaron Fox just dominated Lonzo Ball. But I think De'Aaron Fox went. I think he was still top 10, but everybody was high on Lonzo Ball. But again, what do your eyes tell you? So like, I wouldn't have got so hell bent on it. But like, if a kid if he says like, I don't want to come to Utah, I don't want to come to Charlotte, as those two teams, I'm not going to draft him. But I'm not going to hold that much weight of him skipping a workout because I just played a whole college season. Like, do you like what you saw or not? What is this workout proving? In my opinion. So like, I see both sides of it. But again, I go ahead. My fault, coach. Go ahead.
You my brother, because I think this is going to become a trend as well. And I think it's an unpopular opinion, but I do feel like that's what's going to start happening more. I do feel like this is about to be a trend. I do feel like guys are going to, quote unquote, control their own destiny, control their own narrative. I think this is going to happen more. I do feel like it does come with a little sense of arrogance. I'm not playing for y'all. I'm not playing for y'all. I'm not working out for y'all. Don't even worry about it. Leave me alone. Like, that's kind of arrogant to me. All right. It's millions of people in the world that would love the opportunity to play for the Charlotte Hornets. So for you to be like, for whatever reason, it's probably a method to the madness. If he does go to a situation where he ends up shooting the ball every time and he ends up winning Rookie of the Year, that's more money for him. If he ends up, playing out his rookie contract and he's putting up these numbers, that's more money for him. So he might be looking at it from that standpoint, and his agent might be looking at it from that standpoint. But I mean, I feel like it does have a little arrogance behind it. I do feel like it has a little entitlement behind it. And I mean, ultimately, I don't feel like it's the right move. I don't think you should carry yourself the way Ace is carrying himself. But I mean, this could very well work out in his favor. You never know. You know, he could low key be gambling on himself, that's what everybody kind of stands on. Anytime you're speaking on your own individual performance. If he does go to a situation where he can shoot all the balls and he can be the go-to guy and he can be a number one option or a number two option or whatever the case may be, and he ends up putting up numbers to the point where he can get a super max or a max or whatever the case may be, then we all look like fools, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, you never know. You never know. I would love for him to, sit down, have a conversation with somebody, or have a little interview, whatever the case may be, because I just want to get a little more, give him a little more information from him regarding why he went about it this way. But ultimately, he is Ace is super talented. I do feel like he can score the ball at all three levels. He does have a lot of improvement, a lot of growth that he need to tap into. But if he does tap into it, people are comparing him to Tracy McGrady. I've seen people compare him to guys like shit. I done seen people say KD. So
yeah.
However it go, I think he. I didn't think he went about it the right way, but I do feel like this is going to become a trend for years to come.
But Coach, I will say this: like, I know you said it kind of comes off as a little arrogance, and I definitely see where you're coming from. But then I also think of the side of the player. Like, think about a player like Luka who loved Dallas, didn't want to retire a Maverick. I think the ceremony they had from when he returned with the Lakers. He's crying on the bench, crying because it caught him off guard. It's a business. So like when a team is done with you, they can just trade you and move on. You know what I'm saying? And this is a guy like in Luka, a generational talent who loved being a Dallas Maverick, felt like he was going to be a Maverick for the rest of his life. So I do think about shit like that too. Like players, but again, I guess you kind of got to earn that clout though. So like I do believe in that too. Like you got to earn your clout. And Ace, at the end of the day, yeah, you're a top 5 pick, but there are many top 5 picks who don't pan out to shit in the league. That's just the way it goes sometimes. There are some second round talents who pan out to more than a top 5 pick. But again, it's just this new era. I just think money plays a huge factor. Like it's not necessary. Like I don't gotta sign. I know you get a different type of bonus, depending on where you're drafted at. But like he made millions of dollars at Rutgers. So he's not pressed for the money. I feel like he's more pressed about being in the right situation in which he can grow, compete for championships, and kind of not get thrown to the wolves in a sense. So yeah, bro, that's how I see both sides, man. But at the end of the day, I feel like he should have worked out, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I want to say one more thing before we move on to, like I said, I think Ace is really good. I think he's talented. I do feel like he kind of flopped a little bit at Rutgers. And that's another reason why I feel like this move is a little bit of arrogance, or this move has some arrogance behind it. Because, I mean, going into the season, Rutgers was projected to be one of the better teams in the nation. And they ended up being one of the worst teams in their league. So, I mean, for that to happen to a potential top 3 pick, that's not a good look. So for you to come into the draft saying, I'm not working out for this team, I'm not meeting with this team, I don't want this team to draft me, that kind of fuels my argument of, yeah, you a little arrogant, bro. I mean, you flopped at Rutgers. It was times where you struggled, you didn't play well, and it cost your team. It cost your team wins. It cost your team a chance to make the tournament, things like that. So, I like you said, I see both sides of it. I see where he's coming from. But I mean, if somebody was like, man, this kid, he going about it the wrong way. He's going about it the wrong way. He's, coming off as spoiled. He's coming off as entitled. I can see that side too. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, Yeah, I definitely see both sides for sure. So yeah, man. Before we start to conclude, I know, we're getting close to the hour marker. This last pod we did, you asked me what I was listening to. We got into it a little bit. I asked you what you was listening to a little bit. I wanted to ask you, what is your guilty pleasure song? Like, what's a track, or who's an artist that I ain't gonna necessarily say don't want people to know, because I mean, music is music. But somebody might think, oh shit, my boy Tej listening to that, or my boy Tej spinning this in the headphones. Like, what's a
Bro.
guilty pleasure track that you got?
So there's this group. It's a black rock group called The Paradox, and they got a song called Miss Lauren and a song called Imani. It's a rock song, bro. Like it's a black rock group, bro. But like, I don't know, bro. Sometimes it'll come up and I just get the bob in my head like I'm at a rock concert, bro. So probably them right now. Like, it's literally in my recents. I forgot how I found them. I think it was on TikTok or something like that. But that, and then there's a song by Lotto called Prize Possession featuring Tizo Touchdown. Like, I mean, I don't think this is, like you said, I don't. But Tizo, what he did, and it's a good song, like Lotto Snap. But what Tizo did with his verse and like his cadences in that, bro, insane. And then, like I said, I'll sing a song when I can't sing, bro. So I mean, like, I listen to a lot of R&B. Don't really matter what it is, bro. If it sounds good to me, I'll play it, bro. But yeah, it's this group called The Paradox. They're a little rock group. I'm almost certain if I ever played that around like the guys, they'd be like, "Coach, what the hell is this?" Or da 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 da. But what about you, bro? What's your I get like guilty pleasure, for lack of a better term?
Yeah. Before I go, bro, you guys send me the tracks, bro. Send me the tracks. I gotta listen to this,
because you wait to see how you react, bro.
Yeah, you done got me intrigued at this point, for real.
I sent it to Justin Wilson like back when I first found it, and he responded back immediately. He was like, "Okay, I wasn't expecting that."
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, send me when we done, bro. Send me that for sure. But I'm gonna have to say, my guilty pleasure track. And I mean, shit, I don't care. Like, anybody can call me whatever they want to call me. Beyonce, Halo. That is the perfect song. That's the perfect R&B song. If anybody says anything negative about Halo by Beyonce, they don't know music. So shout out to Beyonce.
Get any arguments?
Facts. I was going to say Dangerously in Love by Beyonce, another perfect song. Like, just top to bottom, whole thing.
You naming bangers though, gang. I thought you was gonna have something like you naming bangers, like you naming some, like, no one's gonna critique that.
But okay. I was gonna say too, my guilty pleasure song, "Hey There Delilah" by Plain White T's. Oh, another classic. Perfect song. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. I don't care what nobody say. You can like country music. You can not like it. Plain White T's, "Hey There Delilah," another perfect song. And then James Taylor too. I'm a James Taylor fan. He has a couple tracks that I really like. All right. So yeah, when we get off, I definitely got to see my James Taylor playlist, man. He got a couple bangers that I really like. I'm not a country fan at all whatsoever, but James Taylor, he got a couple projects that I will listen to. I will not skip at all. I don't care. I don't care if I'm in the car. I don't care if I'm in the shower. I don't care if it's a pre-game, post-game. James Taylor got a couple tracks where if it comes up on my playlist, I'm listening to it. So shout out my boy James Taylor, man.
Hey man, shout out James, bro. Shout out James Taylor. Nah, but yeah, bro, you was naming some bangers though, bro. Like, hold on before you, like, because I mean Beyonce, like, what's her is it the Touch It remix? Would she sample Wetter by Twista? Bro, when that song come on, bro, when she's like, "Baby, make it rain," but she just snapped on that. Cater to you, like I said on the last pod. I mean, bro, I can go on and on about just the R&B, bro, but like, let me ask you this. Then we'll go. Let's say it's a song you got to sing word for word, like you can't miss a single word. $1 million. What song is that you singing? Not a rap. It got to be a song.
ABCs. Me and Kyler. We got it.
Oh my God, this guy clever. Clever guy here. Clever guy here. Nah, I like your loophole, but give me one, bro. That's a good loophole.
Dreams and Nightmares, for sure.
I said
Dreams
no
and
rap.
Nightmares, March Madness.
I said no rap.
You did say no rap.
Gotta sing it.
Damn.
Karaoke vibes.
I mean, I was gonna say Dangerously in Love, but I already said that one. So, shit. Chris Brown, yo. I think that I should start by saying, yo, I don't know your name, but excuse me, miss.
Yeah. Classic
Saw
album.
From across the room, and I got to admit that you got
you can't miss a lyric though.
You make me want to say, okay. I might have to listen to it. I might have to listen to it a couple times to freshen up a little bit, because that's an old track, man. That's an old song, man. So but nah. Chris Brown, yo, classic vibe, man. Another perfect song for sure. What about you though?
I feel it. I got options, bro. It could be One Wish by Ray J. It could be
another perfect song.
Yeah, it's a banger, bro. It could be You're Not My Type of Girl by New Edition.
New Edition.
Probably one of those. Say Goodbye, Chris Brown. Know that word from where I remember, bro. I used to want in the video, bro, when he had the red, white, and gray camo pants on with the red shirt and the jacket, bro. I used to want that exact fit, bro. So that, bro. I mean, We Belong Together by Mariah Carey. I know that word for word, bar for bar, like classics. So those would be one of those 4 songs, bro. If I had to pick a song to sing for $1 million, not miss a lyric. So yeah, bro, those would probably be one of the 4 I pick.
Yeah, you a singer at heart, low key,
bro. If I could sing, bro, you wouldn't know me, bro. That's but I ain't gonna cap. One of my icebreaker questions in class, not even icebreaker, but like we get the discussions. I'll be like, would you rather sing or dance? I'm picking dance 10 times out of 10, bro. 10 times out of 10, I'm picking dance. Bro, I mean, just being able, like, I think I got rhythm. Ashley, I don't know, she can vouch for me. Sometimes she show me love. Sometimes she be hating on me. It depends. But, bro, I be dancing, bro. And my youngest chosen, man, that's my dance partner, bro. When he hears some music come on, bro, my boy, he hit his little dance, man. And then we just be it's just me and him, dog, bro. But yeah, bro, I would pick dancing. So you saying you would pick singing?
Sing for sure. I can actually sing, like one of my hidden talents.
Oh yeah, I know. We already talked about that. Mariah Leathers, she gonna vouch for you 10 times out of 10. So it's no argument there, guys. Miles can sing. His wife said it.
Hey man, we gonna get into that story another day, man. My wife already mad at me for my last story on the last pod, so.
Bro,
we'll get to that story.
The message she sent me when I told her to peep the post, and what I can't repeat on air what she said, y'all. But I started crying, laughing. I'm gonna tell you the G-rated version. She said, "I'm about to mess this dude up. You can replace the word mess with whatever you want." But she said, "I'm about to mess this dude up," and she was like, "He was right. I hate that story because he make it seem like I was eating chitlins 24/7, 365 days out of the year, bro."
She was. She used to go crazy over chitlins, bro.
Y'all funny, bro.
Hey, we gonna talk about that another time, man. Mariah, if you listen to this, you know you used to go crazy over them chitlins. You used to have chitlin grease all over the place.
Chitlin grease is
And she know
nasty. I think you can go ahead and wrap this shit up, coach, because that's disgusting.
I'm saying, man. But all right, man. This concludes another episode, man. You know, it's always fun talking to my brother, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll continue to keep pushing these out, man. But definitely appreciate y'all. And that concludes another episode of the No Pressure Pod, man. So peace.